Greetings, my fellow divas, and welcome to today's episode of the Diva Decode. We're here to lift the velvet curtain on the most iconic women in music from yesterday and today. Think of this as your backstage pass to the world of music royalty, where we dive into the glamour, the talent, and these ladies' skill in knowing when to break or follow the rules. I'm your host, Nicole Dallé. Today, we aren't going back to the 90s or even the 70s. We're going back nearly 1,000 years to meet the ultimate OG diva, Hildegard von Bingen. Born in 1098 in what is now Germany, she was a 12th century nun who basically decided that the glass ceiling of the Middle Ages simply didn't apply to her. Hildegard was a polymath, a fancy way of saying she did everything. She was an abbess, a scientist, a philosopher, a holistic healer, and a visionary. But her most enduring diva credential? She was one of the most prolific composers of the medieval period. Hildegard composed some of the most expansive and emotionally expressive sacred music of the Middle Ages. Her melodies soar higher than most of the music of her time, breaking the rules of what women, and frankly anyone, was expected to write. And she didn't stop at music. She wrote about medicine, nature, sexuality, spirituality, and the human body with startling confidence. So how does a woman from the Middle Ages relate to your life today? Here are 3 ways we can apply Hildegard's energy to our modern world. Lesson 1. Lead boldly, even in restrictive systems. Hildegard didn't reject the church, but she also didn't disappear inside it. She challenged corruption, critiqued leaders, and moved her entire convent when she felt it was spiritually necessary, against orders no less. She faced backlash, but she stood firm. This is a masterclass in leading with integrity. You may operate within systems you didn't design, corporations, traditions, families, but you can still shape them. Leadership doesn't always mean burning it all down. Sometimes it means pushing from the inside with clarity, courage, and conviction. Lesson 2. Cultivate viriditas, or green power. Hildegard's most famous philosophical concept was viriditas, the innate life force that allows us to grow, heal, and regenerate. She didn't separate the physical from the spiritual. As an early proponent of holistic health, she taught that illness often stems from burnout, and that healing requires restoring balance through diet, nature, and emotional well-being. In our hustle culture, it's easy to get burned out. Hildegard reminds us that staying green and vibrant requires self-care and a connection to the world around us. You can't create if your inner garden is parched. Lesson 3. Knowledge is for everyone. Hildegard didn't just stick to women's topics. She wrote about cosmology, biology, and even female pleasure, topics that were strictly off limits to women at that time. Hildegard didn't have a degree because women weren't allowed to earn them. Instead, she relied on her own lived experience and keen observation. In the digital age, we have more access to information than ever. Yet we often still wait for experts to tell us what to think. Hildegard's refusal to stay in her own lane reminds us not only that solving complex problems like climate change or social inequality requires looking beyond a single field of expertise, but also that insight can come from anywhere when we actively seek the truth and allow our curiosity free rein. Hildegard von Bingen proved that you can wear the habit and still be a rebel. She followed the rules of her faith, but broke every social rule that tried to keep her small. She was a composer, a leader, and a visionary who remained vibrant until she passed away at the ripe old age of 81. She showed us that music is power, knowledge is power, and believing in yourself, especially when the world doubts you, is the ultimate diva move. I'm Nicole Dallé, here with the Diva Decode. Join me next time as we uncover another dazzling woman and the talent and determination that make her unforgettable. Until then, to explore the unique sound that Hildegard created, check out the playlist below. And keep a little glamour in your life.